Hey everybody, it's property of the week time. So we're coming on our next Saturday, which is March 14th, and we're going to do property of the week, but I had a snag. So the snag is, I was doing first time home buyer. Let's talk bones, because I do think first time home buyers need to talk about bones, but guess what happened? The property I picked, I looked at it yesterday, I did all the slides on it. It's only been up for 7 days. I went back in today to do this video for you guys, and guess what? It's pending. But we're going to discuss it. We're going to do the slides anyway, because I think you're going to learn from this property. If you're a first-time home buyer, you're going to want to pay attention to this, because if you don't have good bones, not good. The best thing is location. Obviously, location is key in real estate. So first, you got to have the location, because if you pay a little bit more than you really want to pay, if you're in a good location, you're still in a good spot if you pay a little more. On this kind of market, a little more happens, so you hope you're in a good location. The other thing is you want square footage. Square footage, you don't want too small of a home because it doesn't fit everybody's needs. And because if you do wind up selling it in the next decade or so, you want to make sure that it's big enough that you have more of a pool of buyers. Then you're going to do, number 3 is going to be, most people prefer a basement, but that in down the shore where I'm at, that's not always, something that we have. But it's good to have a basement. So if it has a basement, that's a plus plus. If it has a garage, that's a plus plus plus. But the key to any property is location, and obviously foundation is a basement, because when you have a basement, it's easy to add on. If you do wind up getting a home that has less square footage than you really want, but that's all you can afford at the time, if you have a basement, that's good, because a lot of things that you do to make an addition take place in the basement, water lines and things, it's easier for the contractor to work in that space. So, basements are keys. Some people think, it doesn't have a basement, but if it does, that's great. But the biggest sweet spot, the sweet spot that you really want to hit, if you're a first-time home buyer, and I tell all my home buyers, unless they're single, but if you're a married couple expecting to have children or already have children, you want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Very important, because those are the key elements that everybody looks for in their first-time home. They want to start out, even if the home is smaller, they have those 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. You can always make 1 big master out of 2 small bedrooms. But if you only have 2 bedrooms, you don't want to have a house with 1 bedroom, let's be honest. $499 is under $500,000, so that's a good thing. Listen, I know it's tough for you guys out there. It's going to get a little better because the mortgage rates are going to go down. There are some really good programs for first-time home buyers, so whomever you deal with when you're ready to buy a home, make sure you get a good loan officer that's going to show you what you're entitled to. So that's important. If you don't have me as your agent, I hope that you're smart enough to tell the agent you have, hey, I need to have a good mortgage broker, or have one. Actually, you need pre-approval. Don't even go out looking for houses if you don't have a pre-approval for the amount of money that you're looking, to spend, because in the first-time home buyer market, you have to have a pre-approval. You have to. So I knew this was a great property because of the square footage, the location. It had a basement. It had a garage. It has a level yard. It has a lot of pluses. So a lot of people saw the same thing I saw. So this is why it's very important, if you're looking in a market like the first-time home buyer and you have a particular budget you have to stay in, when you see it, you need to act on it. You can't just sit and say. That's why it's very important to have a little bit of time that you start to look with your agent, me hopefully, so you can see when you get to that house, there's no hesitation. Hey, I want to put an offer on this. This is a good house for us. So that's very important. So educate yourself. Have your, take somebody along, your wife, your husband, your friend, so you guys can talk to each other about what you like and what you don't like about a house. But when you're in this competitive market, you must act swiftly, or you're going to lose the opportunity. So that's important too. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's talk bones for the first-time home buyer. So you want to have the 3 important things. Remember what I said: location, square footage, And garage and basement are definitely something that is a bonus. And then you want to make sure the sweet spot. 3 beds, 2 baths. 3 beds, 2 baths. Don't worry too much about the toilet seat is old. You can buy that at Lowe's. I'm sure somebody in your family can buy it for you as a housewarming gift. Don't be distracted by silly things. You're looking at the bones of the house. So that's what you're going to be looking at. That's what I would have you look at if I was your agent. More than likely in this market, you're not going to find the house of your dreams. But if you get a house with good bones, if you purchase a house with good bones, your dreams could come true in that house. It can happen there because you know the house is worth investing in down the line. Like I said, money's tight in the beginning. For educational purposes, we're going to go through this slideshow. As I said, this house is 1,700 square feet. It's actually a little over. It's in the town of Beechwood. It only stayed on the market for 9 days. I thought, like I said, when I did the original slideshow, I thought it was still available, but it's not. So I just want to teach you something from this house. If I were looking with you and you said, Sharon, I can't, my budget max is I can't go over 500,000. And I saw this come up, you'd be there that night. I would take you to this house that night. So instead, we're going to go on a tour, you, me, and whomever else is watching, and I'm going to point out everything that makes this house something you would want to bid on. That's good. If you like the town, you have to like the town. At the end of this very interesting slideshow, you're going to see my card. You're going to want to call me because the next time a really good house like this one comes up, something worth looking at, you're going to want me to take you. So you'll know where to find me. Also, let's get Crack-A-Lakin. Don't get in the bum stage. Oh, I'm never going to get a house. Oh, I'll never find anything. Just keep at it. Save your money. Think about the future because that is the American dream. That, for most people, not everybody, but for most people, that is the American dream. So, as we say here in the real estate, let's get Crack-A-Lakin, kids. All right, let's go to the slideshow. All right, so we have the front of the house. It has beautiful curb appeal, as you can see. It has a beautiful garage, brand new garage door, all new windows, a very good roof. This is bones. Front porch, which is absolutely, you can't get better than that front porch. And they did a lot of work in the front. And it has, like I said, all new windows. Backyard is great, level. There you have a vinyl flooring, which is terrific if you have dogs. And if you can see, the woodwork around this house is really nice. You have baseboard heating, which means it's gas heat, which is a better heat than most heat. Because it's better than hot air gas heat. It really is. It's better for your sinuses. Then you have the porcelain tile in the kitchen, which is a big upgrade. So that's good bones right there. Porcelain tile will last you a long time. Then you have, like I said, new windows in here too. And as you can see, all the walls are nice. The walls don't look like they're, a mess. Obviously, these people redid this home. This is a beautiful kitchen. You can't find anything wrong with it. This is your 3rd bedroom. It is a small bedroom. They're using it as an office space besides an extra bedroom. But it is that 3rd bedroom, which you do need. And it does have that one window to let light in. That's your 2nd bedroom, which looks like a nice size. Also new windows. And there you have your master bath, I believe that is. And it has a gorgeous, everything in there is brand new. So it had good bones, but it had the bathroom, and they redid the bathroom. These people did a spectacular job with this house. They probably bought it with good bones, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and they redid all of it. They did the tile work in that bathroom with the tub. It looks great. They used black fixtures. And there's a laundry room, which is very good to have on the 1st floor, even if you have a basement. There's a very large basement down here, which adds square footage. You can put a family room down there, and it has a nice high ceiling, and that looks nice and dry as well. That's another thing you gotta look for dry. There's my card. If you want to find that right house and you're a first-time buyer, I'm your girl.